What's the best way to weigh your own head? Any thoughts?
Well, cut it off, obviously, would be...
Yes, but then someone else could weigh it, but you couldn't, you see? That would be the problem. You wouldn't... And the question was...
Because you introduced us, and I normally introduce me last...
Yeah.
It slightly caught me out, and I was applauding myself.
I'm doing this! That's what...
And I was applauding myself insincerely.
That's what Soviet leaders do, isn't it? Or chimpanzees. Yeah. One or the other. Yeah.
Why would you want to weigh your own head? It's a sort of a boys' thing, isn't it? You can imagine some poor woman married to a scientist and she's at home and she's wormed the dog and fed the children and got everything sorted and her husband gets home and goes, "Good news, dear, I've weighed my own head."
I grant you, it may not seem like the most useful thing to do, but it does employ interesting scientific ideas on which we all depend.
Is it that thing that David Frost used to tell that joke for years and years? The, do you want to lose 12 pounds of unsightly fat? Cut off your head.
Was that his joke?
He used to tell that a lot, yeah.
What is one of the most famous ancient moments of scientific discovery?
Well,
Archimedes. Is it Archimedes in the bath?
Archimedes in the bath. Now, tell me, what did Archimedes do and why did he...
So would you just put your head in the bucket?
Oh, right. Oh, is that right?
I have no idea.
Yes, join in.
I was going to weigh myself, go to the swimming baths.
Yeah.
Right, and bob, and then get people to feed me until I sank. And then come back out and weigh myself again.
Yeah.
And
that sounds much more scientific.
So by displacement of the water, you can tell...
Yeah, you take a big bucket and you fill it full of water and you drop your head in, and because water and the density of your head are about the same, you get a very close approximation by the amount of water that you displace.
You could put apples in to make it
You could bob for apples to make it fairer, yes.
And what did your head weigh when you tried this?
What would you say is the average weight? The University of Sydney has a department where they weigh heads quite a lot, and they have a pretty good average.
By dunking them in buckets, do they?
They don't actually dunk them in buckets.
Is it 12 pounds?
It's 4.5 to 5 kilos, which is...
I have no idea.
Well, that's
5 kilos is 11
kilos.
Yeah. Not far. Yeah. 2.2...
It's about 12 pounds.
Yeah, it's about 12 pounds. Well done. I'm going to give you a point for 12 pounds, John.
It's a bit of negotiated some points.
Surely you should give those points to David Frost, who thought of the 12 pounds in the first place.
Well, that's true. Or who's right,
he hadn't cut his head off.
Yeah.
What if you get an air pocket in your ears?
A pocket?
You know, the air pockets?
Yes, but the air cavities are cancelled out.
Take your fingers out, you won't hear the answer.
The bones, you have bones that are denser than water and air pockets that are lighter than water, and together it does seem that the head averages about water, so it's a good displacement test. But there is a modern piece of technology that can do it to frightening degrees of accuracy.
Bound to be a laser or something like that.
No, it's a CAT scan, a CT, and they can tell the density of every little tiniest part of the brain and the skull and all the rest of it, and tot it all up.
My dad's got heavy eyes.
Has he now?
Yeah.
Have you weighed his eyes? Or
No, we've not weighed him, but he's very fearful of leaning forward.
Do they come out?
He doesn't like
crash through his
doesn't like leaning forward. He thinks they're going to come out.
Like on springs, like those things you can buy.
No, we got rid of novelty, Dad. This is mental, Dad.
Right. Do you know, my grandfather had 2 glass eyes, and yet he could see. So what happened was he's sad. He lost one eye, but he wasn't careless. He was ill, and he had a glass eye made, which was perfect, exactly like his other perfectly working blue Scandinavian eye. And then he had one made that was bloodshot, and it was known as Grandpa's party eye. And he kept it in a box on the mantelpiece. And when he was going out for the evening, he'd take out the false blue one, and he'd put in the bloodshot one, and he'd say, "I'm going out now, and I shan't be back till they match."
Oh, that's brilliant! That's brilliant. Fantastic. And I seem to remember you telling me...
I thought he had 2 glass eyes like that.
I know, that would be silly.
Did he have a hole at the back where somebody put that? Was your granddad Nookie Burr?
On the subject of heads, do you know anything about Sir Francis Drake? No, I don't mean Sir Francis Drake. But as I've mentioned him, do you know anything about him?
Something to do with bowling.
Yeah, that's right.
He
Yeah.
was in the Navy.
Let's move on
the
from
Navy
Francis
man.
Drake. Thanks for ringing up. What do you know about Sir Walter Raleigh?
He invented the bicycle.
His wife carried his head around in a bag for more than 30 years after he died.
Excellently
A velvet
correct.
bag.
In a velvet
it was.
A
bag.
red velvet bag, yes. So Walter was executed. And,
See why John had to invent a show for this kind of information.
Yes, exactly.
He carries around with him.
You carried around much as Lady Raleigh carried around the head.
It was on Buzzcocks last week.
Was it?
What sort of a bag? Was it a sealed bag? Like a
It was a sort of velvet...
like a cool box?
I don't know. People did keep heads.
I bet it was a few years before anybody wanted to sit next to her at dinner.
Oh, no, Lady Raleigh, I'm
Yes,
sure
do you
that's
not
true.
think?
Oh, I'm sure.
People going, oh, she's not going to bring the head, is she?
Very fine. Don't know how we got there, but like many of the questions in tonight's show, there's no one correct answer, but dunking your head in a bucket might be a good start. How would you know if you had a shrunken head? Ah.
Oh.
I'm going to give you... I'm going to give you some. Oh, yeah.
Is it real?
Well, that's my question. How can you tell whether you have an authentic shrunken head? You need to have one.
Oh, I see. Or
Or
whether,
it's
I
a-
was going to say, how can you tell that you actually have a shrunken head
Does it
yourself?
come with a
Well, no,
certificate?
that you could
Well, that would
probably...
be easy,
Oh, well,
'cause
there,
there
like-
we are.
Yeah,
You see,
exactly.
Is one of these real?
Well, what do you know about shrunken? Where would you get one? There are some real ones.
Ecuador.
Well, I would
Peru.
say
Ecuador is exactly right, Sue.
Right.
This is brilliant. You're on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is impressive. Do you know the name of the tribe or
No.
people? It's
No.
the Shwa people. Yeah.
Shwa?
The Shwa people, who are a clan
Yeah.
of the
Shrunkies.
Shwara tribe in exactly the area. Exactly the area.
Oh, look, you put this in the back of your car.
Yay!
So you think this is an early nodding dog?
Yes.
That feels like horsehair or something to me.
Yeah, no, it doesn't fit.
It smells.
They're still doing it.
Well, no, not officially. It's against the law. But in every Ripley's Believe It or Not museum, there's at least one. There's 29 by our count. But, oh, that's lovely. Give me a recipe. How would you do it?
Well, how would you actually...
How would you shrink a head?
Put it in the washing machine at a
Sorry,
very high heat.
Wow!
So, I mean, it's a normal
Well,
human
you've
head,
got
but
to
it's
take the skull out.
reduced to the size of... Those are real size.
You'd have to take all
Well,
the
you don't-
skin off someone, wouldn't you?
You take all the skin off in one go, right, including the hair. You throw away the skull and the eyes into a river, if you're a Shwa tribe. So you've got the skin, all right, you've got this whole skin. Then you turn it inside out,
Yeah.
and you
Obviously.
scrape it.
Nice.
I didn't invent this, yeah? Then you get it back the right way again, keeping all the features as perfect
Much
as you
like
can.
skinning a rabbit.
Yeah, then you bind the lips together, you sew them together and sew the eyelids,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? Then you pop in hot stones and sand,
Right.
right?
To give it shape.
I'm making
so
note
you
of
chuck
this.
To
some
heat
eyes
it up,
in a
yeah.
river.
Then you simmer it.
How long do you simmer it
in
for?
boiling water. Gas not too, my darling.
Bay leaf?
Yeah,
Yeah.
a bay leaf. It's always, never go wrong with that. And then you kipper it, you smoke it, essentially. And voila.
To what purpose?
Well, they're a pretty ferocious group of people, these Shwa, and they're the ones who are famous for
Oh,
There
for the
they are.
man with the molten lava. Is this the
Tell the story.
cruelest people in the history of the world?
Well, they're certainly
I
pretty cruel.
remember the teacher who taught us this. He was pretty vicious himself.
Right.
And there was a Spanish general who tried to tame this Shwa tribe.
Yes.
And they had the last laugh. They took him, they pulled open his mouth, they poured molten gold down his gullet until his bowels burst.
That's exactly right. And it sounds like a good repayment for his greed for gold. I
Indeed.
think,
Well,
yeah.
that's why they used gold.
Yeah, indeed.
why are
And
they
they're
so
also
unpleasant?
they're the tribe famous for dipping darts in curare, the poison,
Oh, curare, yes.
beloved of
Oh.
detective writers.
So that's the one that gets your central nervous system.
Absolutely.
They've got lovely bobble hats.
They're lovely. It's a good look. Yours are not human. They are goat or alpaca. And these are available in Ecuador as tourist knickknacks. They're
Oh, I
quite
see. So
expensive.
that's a goat's face.
Or at least goat skin.
Goat's-
And you can usually tell one that's done by either someone imitating the tribesman is that the lips are too neatly sewn up. In the originals, they're really pretty basic. And
Yeah.
And is it to preserve relatives? Or...
It's a kind of gleeful, joyous, gloating, I own you, I've
take the
reduced
spirit
you.
out of
But it's not a compliment. It's not
Oh,
a
no, I don't think
Granny's gone, let's keep her at the end of
Oh,
the bed.
no, no.